Well, look, first of all, if you've been, especially if you're new to California and you don't know your way around, let's say you get in a car accident. Let's say you're in a boat accident.
A mishap with a dog.
Let's say a dog bites your balls.
Yeah.
Something like that. Let's say that an insurance, or a raccoon, let's say an insurance company owes you money. You can call Sweet James Bergener, and he will hold your hand and walk, almost like that poem you see in people's guest bathrooms where, like, I just only saw one set of footprints. Well, that's because I was carrying you. Jesus talking to the guy. That's like Sweet James.
He has a beard like Jesus.
And he'll carry you through whatever your legal issues are, and he won't charge you until you settle. 800-881-2021 or sweetjames.com. It's time for justice.
Order in the court. Order in the court. It's time for justice with Sweet James.
Hey, Sweet James, how you doing?
P, I'm doing well. How are you, brother?
I'm fine, and I'm here with Cole Wright.
Cole, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm trying to follow in your footsteps, those footsteps we just talked about, and grow a beard out. It's not as ravishing.
But you don't have a beard. You have a lineup.
It's a lineup, but it's still a beard. Yeah, no. I mean, does it have to grow halfway up my face and down my neck?
I don't know.
Does it have to hold hands with my chest hair to be a beard?
I think a beard is more like a white dude beer thing, and I think what you got going on, because it's manicured below your nose. What you got going on is a Kevin Love style lineup when he was with the UCLA Bruins.
Well, maybe James, I think the reason that the mustache is lined up so precisely, Petros, as well, is because if I let it grow up any higher, it would look really bad.
Well, perhaps.
It'd be a crustache, not a mustache. It would be pretty garbage.
Pretty funny. But that's a beard and a mustache.
Okay.
But you got.
I'll take a lineup.
You got
I'll
a
take a lineup. It looks like it's from the barber, but it's not.
You know, Sweet James had a bunch of topics going this morning, which I was surprised, because usually when Sweet James comes on, I just want to talk about the speeding ticket I got a couple weeks ago.
It's just hard.
Well, whatever is going to happen with that situation, we're not going to trial till April, right, Sweet James?
No, we don't have anything until April. We're fine.
Now, can I wear a suit to the trial to look good, or should I?
You're going to wear a suit. You're going to look sharp. Yeah.
Do I have to go?
You should do a burgundy
No,
suit like
you don't.
you don't have
like
to
Joe
go.
Pesci.
No, I'm not going.
My cousin Vinny.
Burgundy suit.
Burgundy.
All right, Tiger Woods.
Lime green tuxedo.
No, I'm not going. We've established I'm not going to go.
All right.
Tiger Woods' new restaurant. He wants to open a restaurant, but he cannot call it Tiger Woods because Nike apparently owns the name Tiger Woods.
That's personal.
Well, apparently it's not. It's not. It's public property, and Nike owns the name. What are the details on this, Sweet James?
So he sold Tiger Woods, the name for any commercial endeavor. So Nike owns that. So he's going to open up this restaurant in Florida, and he can't name it Tiger Woods Restaurant. So he's going to name it Woods Jupiter. And what's crazy is Nike could open a restaurant right across the street called Tiger Woods Restaurant.
I don't know if Nike's in the restaurant game.
No, they're not.
I think the ESPN zone knocked a lot of people out of that because they just saw how bad it was. But it's very interesting because I don't think it's really great timing for a guy like Tiger Woods to open a restaurant. I mean, would this be the time?
He could maybe hire at least one server from Perkins. If
come
she's
on.
still on board. So
It's not that funny.
he's got his foot in the door.
Just because fine. The guy just because she's a Perkins waitress, she's not a woman with charm.
She had a great head of hair.
She's got a lot of charm.
Great head of hair. Served up a terrific patty melt.
I need you to do me a huge favor.
So can he just say, because he has this long-standing, this isn't happening in a vacuum, Sweet James. He's got a long-standing relationship with Nike. Because of the golf apparel, they're one of the few people that stuck next to him as far as sponsors go, big sponsors, after he had all his controversies. Can't he just call Nike and say, hey, do me a solid, guys. I want to open Tiger Woods Restaurant. Help me out here and let me do it. Can that happen, or is it just a cut-and-dry situation?
No, he cannot. Do you know why? He gets like $55 million a year from Nike for them to use his name.
So what can he say? Like, hey, I'll give you 53.
He could.
I'll give you $2 million back.
Everything is negotiable. Money cures a lot of ills. He could, but obviously he doesn't want to. He thinks the Woods Jupiter name is going to be enough that they'll know that it's his.
And I'm going to imagine that it's in Jupiter, Florida.
That's what I think.
Otherwise,
I think it is.
It's not going to make a lot of sense. All right, moving on, Sweet James. March Madness is upon us. And, in fact, there's a whole thing about saying March Madness in commercials and stuff like that. If you say March Madness in a commercial, they can come and pop you. I think CBS can come and get you. But anyway, everybody gets involved with this kind of thing. Everybody enjoys March Madness, seemingly. I know you're not the biggest sports fan in the world, Sweet James. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. But do you enjoy March Madness at all? Do you find it, I mean, you have like 400 employees down there. Do you find it to be a distraction for your people?
Do you know what? I don't find it a distraction. I am unaware of any March Madness going on in my office. We take care of our clients. We're a professional organization. But that said, I do have a lot of sports fans that work for me.
And it does kind of cross over, but mostly dudes are into March Madness, and it's kind of a discrimination thing. If the guys want off work and everybody gets off work for the first weekend of the tournament, should we give women off work if there's like a royal wedding or something like that? I mean, how does that work? Is that discrimination, Sweet James?
No, it is not discrimination. I mean, that's sexist to think that females aren't into March Madness, isn't it? I mean, there's no female employees out there who are going to have a claim saying, oh, the office discriminates against me because they give the guys time off. They give everybody time off if you're going to do that sort of thing. I mean, is that... What if we give a bunch of time off for the final of The Bachelor?
Well, I mean, obviously it's a nighttime kind of show. I mean, you didn't give time off for people to recover after they're shocked. But did you watch The Bachelor on Monday, by the way, Sweet James?
I did not watch The Bachelor.
Why would you bring it up?
Because I know you love The Bachelor, P.
No, I don't love The Bachelor. It is a burden upon me.
Why do you watch it?
Because it's a burden. I'm burdened with the responsibility of watching The Bachelor and then regurgitating what happened and making sense for people. Look, I got a text the other day from a guy who said, look, I'm and it's not like your workplace, Sweet James. It's a very awkward workplace for this guy. And he says he's got a boss, a female boss, who he can barely relate with. They have nothing in common. All their exchanges are awkward, but he listens to the Petros and Money Show, and he listens to the Bachelor Report every single Tuesday. Nice. And he heard that shrew of a boss, that woman, that prudish woman with a prune face, I imagine. He heard her talking.
Probably a runway model.
He heard her talking Bachelor by the water cooler, and he injected himself in the conversation with knowledge he had from the Petros and Money Show, and now the boss comes to his cubicle every single Monday to talk about The Bachelor, and that's because of our show.
Making his weaknesses his strengths.
Play the horns, damn it. That's why I do it, Sweet James. It's not
you
because
are a saint.
That's right. I don't do it because I enjoy The Bachelor. I do it because it's my responsibility. I don't want to make a reference of Jesus carrying the cross.
That's a terrible idea.
But I will use the cliche that it is my cross to bear.
There you go. The biggest sports fan in my office is a female. And do you know what? She was pissed off about all of the trades from the Eagles today. Oh. She's a big Eagles fan. Do you know why she's pissed off? Because now she's got to go out and buy a bunch of new jerseys. That's why she's pissed off.
I don't see why she has to spend her money. Football players are
pretty.
She's
a crazy huge Eagles fan.
I mean, just go with somebody from the past like Randall Cunningham. He's not going to
the legendary throwback.
They're not going to trade him because he's retired. The Aaron Hernandez, I think he's pretty much retired for all practical purposes. For playing
pretty
football.
much. Yeah.
His murder trial continues. I'm not really paying attention. I don't know if anybody really is on top of it. But does it really hinge on a cigarette butt? Or chewing gum? I thought it was pretty cut and dry when he was destroying the equipment in his house that was surveillance equipment.
Well, let's see. There was some bullet casing, and they said, hey, do you know what? Aaron Hernandez's DNA is on this bullet casing. He did this. But it turns out that Aaron Hernandez turns in his rental car, and they clean out the rental car and throw away bullet casings. I don't know why you just throw away bullet casings. And bubble gum. Bubble gum is in this rental car. The bubble gum is attached to the bullet casing. So the prosecution presents this bullet casing saying, hey, Aaron Hernandez's DNA is on this. He is the guy. We're going to put him down. And it turns out that the defense says, hey, there was bubble gum attached to that bullet casing when you pulled it out of the trash. It was never verified whose bubble gum it was.
It could be anybody's DNA.
It could be anybody.
How
it was
more
Aaron
cavalier
Hernandez.
can you
That's
be,
how the
though?
DNA got on there.
You're cleaning out your car. It's like, all right, filet-o-fish wrapper, empty water bottles, bullet casings, and chewing gum. I was chewing when I, quote unquote, maybe mope this guy out.
I was watching live when Barry Scheck confused the whole DNA thing on the and he confused the crap out of the whole country. But DNA aside and chewing gum aside, how about I just came from killing a dude and I went to my house and beat up my surveillance equipment with a bat? That's not good enough anymore?
It's all circumstantial evidence. We have no eyewitness.
Circumstantial?
After you walk back in the house with a pistol.
Yeah, we have no eyewitness. We have nothing. We're alleging that Aaron Hernandez committed this murder or was involved in this murder. the jury is going to have to decide the weight of this evidence.
Sweet James Bergener, man. He must have a Bergener-esque attorney. Some guy just
dropping knowledge.
Drowning them in paperwork.
Like Perry Mason over
screwing
here.
Them over. Thank you so much, Sweet James, man. We appreciate you coming on, and we will talk to you next week.
You guys are the best. Cole, rock on, P.
Thank you, sir.
You're the man.
800-881-2021. 800-881-2021 is the number. SweetJamesBergener.com